of an Arsenal fan, he's over. We make fun of him all the time because every time we see Arsenal on top of the table, there's always like this meme that comes out. It's like it's an elephant hanging on a tree branch.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that.
It's definitely gonna come down at some point, but somehow it keeps happening. This season might be that season. Last season was supposed to be it. Didn't happen. This season again. What's the feeling like now among the fans? Is this gonna happen?
Who knows? I mean, listen, I think it's still too early to say. You know, we had a great win last week over Liverpool, dominated Liverpool from start to finish in that game. We've played well on the whole this season, but we're still traumatised by those couple of results around Christmas where we lost to Fulham, we lost to West Ham. They were real shocks. But I think that Arsenal are in and around it, you know, and maybe it suits us to be in and around it rather than to be top. A little bit of the pressure's off of us, and we can kind of just stay there, stay in and around it, and try to be at the end, see if we can, you know, get past two, you know, huge juggernauts in, you know, and teams that are experienced in the Premier League of winning it in recent times in Liverpool and Man City. So it's going to be tough because, especially in the case of Man City, they've got quite a few easy games coming up. They've got all their big boys back in Haaland and De Bruyne, you know. It could come down to Arsenal need to go there and win.
Wow.
But this Arsenal team's showing a lot this season. I'm telling you, like, I remember before the Liverpool game, I was out the night before that game. There was this big boxing show in London, and I saw a load of Liverpool fans, and they were so confident. They were telling me 4-0, 3-0. But
to be fair, it was also after they beat Chelsea, right?
They just beaten Chelsea,
Yeah.
but like I said to this Liverpool fan, we're not Chelsea. We're not Chelsea, right? So
Chelsea's better.
the Liverpool fans are going 3-0, 4. I go, yeah, hold on a minute. When we played you at Anfield, what was the score?
Right.
It was 1-1. So I go, if we came to your place, it's 1-1. I said, we played in the FA Cup. You beat us 2-0. It's universally admitted by everybody that you got fortunate that day because Arsenal missed so many chances in that game. I remember the game started. We had a big chance right at the start of the game. Reece Nelson should have just chipped the keeper. Or he should have done. It was easier to score than what missed. I said to him, "You got fortunate that day, but well done, you won it." But to say, and you could still beat us because you're a great side. But to say you're going to come to the Emirates
and win 4-0.
And win 4-0. I go, you
be confident there.
You're being very arrogant, right? And then they came on the day, and I'm telling you, 3-1 flattered Liverpool. We should have beaten them by more. Saka there, straightforward head. So, and we beat Man City this season as well. People forget, we beat Man City twice this season. We beat them in the Community Shield. We beat them at the Emirates. So, this is a good Arsenal side. But I think we're very reliant upon key players have to be fit. You know, like for instance, if we could get Thomas Partey back, have a good run with him before the end of the season, him, Declan Rice in that midfield. What's his latest
injury worry? What was his latest?
I think he had a setback to the injury that he had. Right. So
I have a question. I'm glad you mentioned Thomas Partey because I have a question there. Because at the start of this season, I couldn't believe that there was actually a consideration of Partey leaving, and there was a big group of Arsenal fans that really wanted him to leave, and you could see the conversation on Twitter. I remember when they went to the US without him, I broke that news that he was joining them and he wasn't going to go anywhere because I had conversations with people in his camp. But the whole summer, I was very confused about why that was even on the table at all. What is it with Arsenal fans, and what's their feeling with Partey?
Let me say, right, like Arsenal fans love Thomas Partey.
Okay.
They absolutely love him. He was one of our best players last season, if not the best, right? You probably say Saka, then he was probably next, right? He was brilliant last season. Mm-hmm. But what you would have seen there was out of frustration because he's always injured. So you start to get fans saying, well, what's the point? I mean, if we got this player that we all know how good he is. He played in that, you know, when he came in against the City game. He came in. Yeah. It was him who started that move that led to the goal that won the game. Yeah? Then we haven't seen him since. It's not his fault. No player wants to be injured. But fans get frustrated. They start to think, well, we never see this guy. We may as well try and cash in and try and see if we can just get someone else in who will be fit and can play. And that's where it comes from. It doesn't come from Arsenal fans not liking Thomas Partey. When the guy's fit, he's one of the best players in our team, without a doubt. If he was fit this season, him and Declan Rice in that midfield, and Odegaard, I think on paper, we probably have the best midfield in the Premier League. But unfortunately, he's been injured so much. I mean, we've barely seen him play a game this season.
3 games this season.
3 games this season. So you can understand. I understand where the frustration comes from. I feel very sorry for him, because if I was him and I'm reading all this stuff, I'd be like, well, what do you think I want to be injured?
That's a
I
fair
want to
point.
be playing. I want to be fit. But, you know, it's a frustration thing. Please, I hope people in Ghana don't feel that it's a thing where fans have turned on him personally because his performances. It's not. They're just frustrated because they're like,
That makes
we
sense.
want to see him.
Yeah.
And if we can't see him, if he's never going to be fit,
what's the
then
point?
we probably have to move on to the next person. And that's why people were saying that.
You mentioned something about cashing Ying, and that brings me to a conversation we've had in the past. And Sicho and I were just talking about it. Mikel Arteta, and whether or not he really is taking this team forward. Last season was really good.
The evidence is there. I have to stop you.
well,
I have to stop you straight away.
that's fair.
He's taking it
Okay,
forward.
but here's the question though: when you look at the amount of money he invested last season, at the end of last season, where that team was, do you think that this Arsenal he's improved them this season?
I mean,
is this season's team better than last season's, despite all the money spent?
how much Chelsea did Chelsea invest?
The Chelsea
Where are they?
Chelsea business has been a bad business. So
It's bad business.
Let's focus on Arsenal.
It's easy to say bad business now, but they invested
billion.
over $1 billion. There's
Yes.
people at the start of the season, right? If you rewind back and there's people saying, "Oh, I feel Chelsea could mount a challenge this season."
But Robbie, to be fair,
I
I don't
believe
think
anybody
anybody
trusted
ever
in that
said
project,
Chelsea, despite all the money. I don't
People
think
said-
anyone considered
There was
them
people
failures.
saying that Man United would mount a challenge this season. They're nowhere to be seen. And then there were people saying, "Oh, Arsenal, if they don't win the league like last season, I say if they don't win the league this season, it's done. They've got no chance in the future. This is their best opportunity ever." Because Liverpool are going to come back, Chelsea are going to come back, United are going to come back, City are still there, right?
To be fair, City and Liverpool are.
And who's challenging again? Arsenal. Arteta's doing a good job. We don't know yet if he's going to be the person, but all I do know is very difficult to get past Jurgen Klopp, very difficult to get past Pep Guardiola. These are legends of the game right now that you got to get past as a manager. But I think he's building a very, very good team. Remember, as we just say, we're talking about one of his key players missing the whole season in Partey. He's also had guys like Jurien Timber miss the whole season as well, who was another key signing. Yeah. Tomiyasu's been out. So I know a lot of teams have had injuries as well, but I personally think Mikel Arteta is doing a very good job. He's got Arsenal challenging for leagues.
At some point, Mikel has to start winning titles for Arsenal.
Of course.
And at what point? Look, I remember during Arsene Wenger's final years, especially on AFTV, troops and you know, and Kelechi we're not very. Kelechi was we're not very kind to Arsenal, and that was a manager who had done so much. But at what point do you think Arsenal fans are going to be very patient, or their patience is going to wane when Mikel is not winning?
Arsene Wenger, we're talking 20 odd years. It's a long time, man. You know, they didn't turn on him until right near the end. You know, when even he has admitted himself since, I should have left
earlier.
He's admitted that. So I don't think you can look and blame fans for kind of then at the end wanted him to go. But listen, when you're manager at Arsenal Football Club, Arsenal fans demand you win things. So that's a fact, right? So he will come under pressure. He's already coming out. Even when we lost those 2 games at Christmas, you start to see some people saying, is this the guy? That's the pressure that comes with a big job. But I look on it overall, and I say he's doing a good... Nobody expected Arsenal to challenge last season. He nearly won the league. And as I said, everybody thought we'd just fall away this season. He's back challenging for it again. And I personally think he deserves more time. Who else is near to Klopp and Guardiola. No one's near.
I mean,
we're not the only team that spent a lot of money.
Robbie, if United, you said he deserves more time, and I agree, every manager deserves some. And Mikel has done a great job. If Unai Emery had the time that you are demanding from
No. The Unai Emery thing, listen.
What about United didn't work at Arsenal?
The wise after the fact thing, right? Unai Emery, right? Because I was at every game with Unai Emery. Let's because I've had this discussion with a lot of people.
Go.
Unai Emery, that season, before he got sacked, he should have got top 4. He didn't. He missed out. Top 4, he should have got easy. He missed out on that. We then went to the final of the Europa League, played Chelsea. I was there, all the way in Baku, got humiliated. 4-1.
He was happy.
Yeah? Right? Is he Chelsea?
He's a Chelsea fan.
And he's telling me about money.
He's a Chelsea fan.
And he's telling me about money.
I have been with Robbie for the past 3 days. I have not told him I'm a Chelsea fan.
No, but you know what? To be fair to you, I wouldn't tell no one I'm a Chelsea fan either if I was you.
You just ruined that. And now I will not hear the end of it.
But right, Unai Emery, he did that.
Yeah.
And they still didn't sack him. They said, no, we have to give him another try. And then we started the next season and we went on a horrendous run. We were losing game after game. He had to leave. I mean, maybe he's more suited to Aston Villa. And also, we don't know how it's going to turn out this season.
Yeah.
Because he started to have a few
Already
dodgy
seen the
results.
signs of-
Yeah, look at the other night.
Yeah.
So it was right for us to get rid of Unai Emery at the time. I'm not saying he's a bad manager, but I think
It just wasn't working. It just wasn't working.
wrong manager for Arsenal.
All right, fair enough.
But
Robbie, yeah, no, you were gonna say something?
I was just saying, but I feel Arteta, he deserves more time. He's doing a good job.
Okay.